Hello, and welcome to the His and Her Show with Jody
and Alex Misiak.
And today we are talking about simplifying your life. And when we simplify our life, it really just helps us come from this place of love a little bit more. And it just keeps your life, not overwhelmed as much. We had to do this over the past 2 years when our son wasn't sleeping. We really simplified our life so we could survive. It was really out of necessity and just for survival reasons.
Yeah, he was up, on average twice a night?
Up to 3 times, yes.
Yeah. Going on almost 2 years, yeah.
Nursing, so I was up every time.
Yeah, and I would go, you wouldn't hear him, so I'd have to get up and you wouldn't hear him, so I'd have to get up, get him, bring him in, because we were trying to make sure that Anastasia wasn't going to wake up and disturb her sleep. But you can't maintain that for as long as we did without simplifying some aspects of our life, like you said, so you don't get overwhelmed, because if you feel overwhelmed, then you get angry, and when you're angry, you start doing things.
You don't parent from a place of love anymore as much. It's really hard to do when you're overwhelmed, exhausted, worn out. So simplifying your life means you don't have to try to do it all. This is us giving you permission to not, to look at everybody else and say, how are they doing it? I need to do that too. This is because comparing yourself to others and doing everything that they're doing will just make you feel really exhausted. And then it might not be something that you feel is right for your kids looking back. Like, oh, why did I do that? Or, so it's really just parenting from a place that is authentically you. It's not trying to give your kids everything you didn't have growing up. It's really easy to want your kids to be in everything because maybe you didn't have that experience and you just want them to. And in the end, maybe they won't like being in everything. So it's just it's really going within and finding what works for yourself and your family.
Yeah, I think that's important because you, like you said, you didn't, you might not have been able to do these things. And so you think, well, obviously my child will want to do these things. And it's good to give your kids opportunities, but not necessarily, don't be too surprised if they're not interested in the same stuff that you want to do as a kid, because everyone's an individual, right? And
there's nothing wrong with giving your kids, signing them up for different things. But if it comes from a place of lack, that you didn't have something, you're going to find that eventually, you're both sides, parent and child, could feel very resentful because they don't love it and they don't love it, and then it's just this whole...
Yeah, they don't love it, you think they should.
And it's just this whole mess. So that's a part of simplifying your life. And this is kind of comes in where it's say yes to the things you love and no to the things that don't. And keep in mind, if it's the kids' situation, you gotta have them in on the conversation. For us, we've tried giving, we've put Anastasia in dance and we've done a gymnastics party for her birthday, and she just wasn't really feeling it. As much as we'd love her to go and do dance, so far it hasn't, been something that she's so excited to do. And, our kids are dancers, but it's just something that they
like to freestyle.
Yes, exactly. So it's looking at your life, first inward, and then just seeing, how it all works with you and your family. So simplifying is very important.
Yeah. And of course, there are some things that may not let you up, but that you still have to do. There's a lot of housework, obviously, lawn work, outdoor work, all that stuff has to still get done, even if it doesn't light you up. I mean, if you're the kind of person that, doing laundry lights you up, or mowing the lawn or that kind of stuff, and just being outside, our one neighbor, he really enjoys gardening, a lot. So it's not a chore to him. It's something that lights him up.
This is where I have to disagree with you. I really think that those chores, as much as, yes, I don't like vacuuming as much, but when you look at it as a different perspective, it's all about changing your perspective. So it's the reason our neighbor loves taking his pride for his property to look good. Wanting things to look good and maybe being outside. So it's yes, those things might, but if we look at the negative side of things, like, oh, it's a waste of time, or it's all about perspective in this case. So I don't really want to talk about the things that aren't gonna, like, that you don't want to do that you have to do, because that's not part of simplifying your life. You know what I mean?
Well, I think you should still figure out a way to simplify those things such that they still get done.
So here's the thing that we had to do when Jaden wasn't sleeping. We actually did less. So cleaning didn't happen as much.
Yes.
We didn't do as many we didn't go out and socialize as much. Not that we don't want to ever socialize with our friends again, but we had to be realistic with how much sleep we were getting. We needed to be able to nap when we could nap too, so we didn't fall apart as parents. We needed to survive. So with everybody's life, everybody's situation and family dynamic is different. Some people have different support systems. And unfortunately, through these times that that our son was not sleeping, we also didn't have as much support around family-wise. So we had to scale everything back a little bit. And it's being okay with that. Mm. You know, we still didn't not see friends. Like, we saw them here and there, but it just meant that maybe it was a little less. And that, you know, it's okay if the kitchen doesn't get cleaned up every single day. And now that he is sleeping through the night, we are definitely on top of things a little bit more. And it's remembering that even though things might not be working or not working, but things aren't getting done, doesn't mean it's going to be like this forever. There's waves throughout life, and sometimes things just have to, you know, fall to the wayside. And it might be cleaning, and that's okay.
Yeah. No, that's true. I think some things, like, I don't know if this is what was working for us or not. I did find that, yeah, like we would let the kids' laundry
We didn't even mow the lawn a lot last summer. So we did.
We let a lot of things slide that were like, well, they're not, they weren't things that necessarily we needed to be focusing on. You do need clean clothes, so laundry had to keep happening, but it wasn't like, I know some people have like laundry days where they just do lots and lots of laundry, and just with the way we were, I don't think that would have worked. Like, so I think we've fallen into a habit now of just doing laundry, you know, throughout the week kind of deal. So yes, multiple small loads as opposed to like an entire day or however many days to do.
Well, before the non-sleeping nights, we were actually doing laundry every day. Like, so we do a load, maybe not every single day of the week, but I would have, actually, this is where I always scheduled. And this is one of the other things that kind of fell to the wayside. And then anything that was needing to be planned, you actually have picked up a lot of that, because I didn't have the mind, like, data storage or like energy there to do my business side, where I'm doing a lot of planning and plan everything around the house. So I used to actually have like a list, like, oh, this is the laundry we're going to do this week. And I literally would kind of map it out Monday, Tuesday, and we'd have a system and we worked together. And we just, you know, there was a lot of, I was healing in part of that from the C-section in that time, and my appendix out. So we kind of had to come up with a new system anyways. And then you throw a little lack of sleep, and things just have to change sometimes. And it's okay.
Yeah.
But the other thing we realized when we went to go sign up our kids for swimming this summer is that they haven't been to swimming since Jaden was before he was 9 months old. So sometimes things like that slide too, and it's okay. And it's like, oh, oops. And they can be really easy to fall into, like, oh man, I'm such a bad parent. But it's like, okay. We missed it, and then we just got back on track. We know exactly, we have a plan to getting them back on track for swimming lessons.
Yeah. You have to be fair with yourself, because at the time we were just so busy.
Not even busy. We weren't
tired.
Busy. We were surviving.
Yeah,
we were in survival mode, and that's okay. And now that we're not, you know, we had that small time frame. The storm is over, and we're picking up all the pieces.
And getting everything lined back up again. Yes.
And, you know, that doesn't mean that something else isn't going to come up and, you know, knock us down a little bit. But it's being okay with where you are and knowing how much you can do. It's not overdoing it. Because one of the things that did not slide much in these past 2 years is self-care for myself. If I'm preaching self-care, that's definitely something I can't, I need to practice what I preach. And I don't just preach it because it's like, I do it because I know it's necessary. To parent from a really good place is to take care of myself first. So then everything else. And if I didn't have these practices in place before being a mom, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be here right now. Like I would be a mess, or you might have had to put me in a hospital. Like I'm not sure, but I am so grateful for self-love and it's like in self-care. Self-love is linked with like knowing that we're worthy enough to take care of ourselves first and foremost, so we can help others around us. Because if I didn't take time for me in these past 2 years, nap when I felt say no to the things that don't light me up, and just really back up and say, okay, the people in my life, the ones that really love me, won't like. I actually have friends that I didn't see for so long, and when I met up with one of them, they're like, we missed each other, but she understood. The people that love us will hold space for us. And, she even said, like, I wish I could do more. And it's like, well, no, we just had to work through this. And, yes. I love that they want to help out as much as possible, which is great. We can always, ask for help and things like that. And, but knowing that it's okay to step back sometimes. The ones that love us will stay with us.
Yeah. And part of being able to practice self-care meant simplifying other areas, like you said, like maybe cleaning. I know for cooking, we got into it. I love to cook, and I like cooking, I wouldn't say elaborate meals, but meals that are fairly involved. So we started not doing as many involved meals, and that doesn't mean takeout, and it doesn't mean frozen food necessarily.
Yes, right? We still all cook from scratch, but it's things that I don't need to follow a recipe. Like I can do it from memory.
Or if you could do it from, we would evaluate recipes, right? We look at them and say, okay, well, how complicated is this? And
we were even getting into a habit where it's like at least one slow cooker meal a week. Yeah. So it's like even simplifying. You don't have to, not that this is a cooking show or an eating, about how to make healthy meals. And maybe we should talk about this sometime, because we very much love cooking from scratch. We make broths, especially if the vegetables are like turning, or we have like chicken bones or, beef bones. The thing is, you don't have to cut quality to make meals simpler.
Yeah. Now you might not have that problem. You might look at you might look at a recipe and be like, prep time's 10 minutes, and your prep time is 10 minutes. My prep time is not even close to whatever they say for their prep time. So
you take your time. It's okay.
I guess I take my time. It really depends on what it is, or I don't have all the techniques down or whatever it is. But so it did come back down to like simplifying the meal planning. Again, that whole like do everything in one day thing. There are some people that do that, cook everything, all the meals for a week in one day. I think, well, for us, that wasn't going to work. And we like changing up the meals.
We were doing that before as well. We would do a lot of prepping on Sundays to start the week. That's when we would make our lunches for the week and different things like that. But we kind of got out of that because that would take a whole day when we didn't have the whole day or the whole energy to do it. Yep. So, but yes, we like variety, but we only cook 3 meals a week.
Yeah, and then like alternate the meals. So that works out really well. Adds variety. Switches up for the kids, because our kids like changing what they like on an hourly basis almost. So that's a good way of simplifying things. And having a slow cooker meal, like if you don't know about slow cooker meals or how best to utilize them, and you're looking for more time in your life or ways to simplify, find a slow cooker and find some slow cooker recipes that you like.
Yeah, they're all over online, and they have everything. They have paleo, vegan. They have so many different.
We should shelve that and do something like that, because I feel every time I tell people, like if I bring the leftovers to work or whatever, and they smell it, like, that's amazing. And I'm like, yeah, I made it in my slow cooker. And a lot of people are very surprised that, one, I can make something like that in a slow cooker, and two, some of them don't even know what a slow cooker is. So we should probably shelve that and bring it back for another topic. So that's one. That's another way.
Slow cooker episode.
I like just cooking tips in general, that kind of stuff.
That's true.
We've come up with some ways to simplify that aspect of it and not sacrifice much on quality.
Yes, because when Anastasia was first born, we did have, when our midwife would say, like, make sure you have food stored for later, and we'd have So we'd have meals, and then we also had like finger food because, you're nursing. So we'd have muffins and all that. And eventually you get past that point and you're still tired. So we were eating a lot of takeout when Anastasia was born. And then in those when she was 6 months, when we have really changed our eating habits, when she started eating solids. And we really went to as clean as possible. That doesn't mean we were fully clean, but we definitely eat a lot less processed foods, so we had fast food, and then we even went even further the other way, where it's very much like all cooked from scratch as best as possible.
And I feel like we maintain that through the busy, really busy, like having Jaden and not sleeping. We kept that going. So.
And I have to say, most of our meals are better than any fast food. Like, we make some things that I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't even need to go eat at a fast food, because we make really good burgers or really good fries in our Active Fry, like things like that. So anyways, we're kind of getting off the topic.
We're cooking episode. Cooking episode.
We're getting a little off
episode,
we're getting a little off of simplifying. But yeah, simplifying how much cooking without taking it away, and because simplifying, definitely ordering out is definitely a very simple way. But at the same time, your body will thank you if you can make some meals at home as well. And if you do have the time where you have a whole day on a weekend, you can actually cook lots of meals and freeze some of them as well. So there's tons of ways. But yes, like Alex said, we will talk more into this later. We will pencil that in for later. So simplifying your life. It really is figuring out what you want. So it's taking 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and just sitting and be like, what do you want to happen in your day, in your life? And kind of really figure out what you can say no to and eliminate, or at least for the time being. So say it's summer vacation. It is summer vacation for a lot, unless you're Australia. I think it's school season because it's their winter, their fall, winter. Anyways, so, right?
Yeah, I don't know how that works. You're right, it's their fall, winter, but I have no idea whether they get out to school the same time as us or not.
Okay. I think it's the other way. But anyways, I have to look into that. We'll have to ask friends. So it's summer vacation for a lot of people. And this is a great time to simplify. I know for us, I'm trying to keep things simple too, because we have both kids home. So it's really simplifying and just looking for ways to be outside more, like not worrying about, the things that don't light us up. That is just really getting in tune with who you are and what you want will really help simplify, because we're always chasing other people's dreams or other people's lives or what other people think we should be doing.
And that's going to drain you. And
it's really just taking a step back. And it might not happen it probably won't happen overnight, but it's taking maybe 5 minutes every morning or at night or on a lunch break or wherever you can find time, and really just be like, what do I want to happen for today? What would make today a great day? And just start with that. And then later on be like, okay, how can I simplify so I can actually make these things happen in my life?
Yeah. And that may mean looking at that to-do list that you've got and looking at it and going, okay, I don't actually need to do that.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you brought up to-do lists. Because here's the thing. Yeah, look at your to-do list. And then there's probably so many things on there that you can I don't there's the saying, why put off tomorrow what you can do today? Sometimes there's certain things you can put off doing until another day. Have a do later list. And that doesn't mean you let your house fall apart or things like that. I know you mentioned there's certain things we got to do to just keep us living alive, like eating. and laundry, like you said. But there's certain things that we don't have to stress over.
Yep.
It's just about simplifying. I used to be a huge party planner, and now I keep things simple. Like not wasted. I don't like to use the word wasted, but I took a lot of pride in organizing, a baby, not a baby, a wedding or like a bridal shower,
yeah.
and like my, parents' anniversary and birthday. And I spent so much time on those, and I love it. It's just sometimes I have to shift priorities now and then. So I can't always plan those things. So it's just, yeah, anyways. Do you have any last minute thoughts or? No? Okay.
Well,
we hope this helps you simplify, and it's really just getting clear on what you want, and just making sure that what you want is what you want, not what, the neighbors are doing or what you were told you had to do as a kid. And it really starts there. And it's just, this is a topic that we could talk about for hours, I think, because there's so many areas of life that you can simplify. And yeah, it's just getting clear on what you want. And then obviously it's inviting the family in, and because it's a part of a team, seeing what everybody else wants too.
Yeah, so that sounds like several more podcasts that we can talk about.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Yes. We hope you have a beautiful day.
Take care.
Bye.